There's a number most middle-class people never get above, around $200,000 in net worth. You hit it somewhere around 40, you plateau, and you stay there until retirement. Not because you couldn't have made more, because there are 3 paths money can travel through your life, and the middle class walks only one of them. The other 2 are where wealth actually happens. Aunt Yvonne explained this to me on a flight 3 years ago. She drew it on the back of a napkin, 3 lines, 3 different math models. She'd walked all 3 over the last 30 years. She told me the middle class doesn't fail because they don't earn enough. They fail because they only ever earn one type of money. The other 2 types don't show up on their bank statements because they never built them. Today, I'm going to show you all 3 paths. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which path you've been on, why you've been stuck, and how to add the other 2 before 40. Aunt Yvonne is in her early 50s. She has all 3 running simultaneously. Path 1 funds her life. Path 2 builds her business. Path 3 compounds her future. Every wealthy person I've ever met has the same setup. Every middle-class person I've met has only path 1. This is the napkin. 3 paths, 3 different timelines, 3 different mathematical models. Walk all 3 for 15 years and you end up wealthy. Walk only 1 and you end up where you started. Here they are. Before I get into them, one frame. These 3 paths are not side hustles. They're not productivity hacks. They're 3 completely different types of money that exist in 3 completely different worlds. Each one has its own math. Each one has its own timeline. Each one rewards different behaviors. Most middle-class people make all their money in path 1. They're not bad with money. They're trapped in the wrong currency. Aunt Yvonne told me on that flight, I don't earn more money than my cousin who's still living paycheck to paycheck. I have 3 sources of money pouring in instead of 1. The total ends up much larger because the streams stack on top of each other. The trick isn't to make more of one type, it's to add the other 2. I'm going to explain each path the way Aunt Yvonne explained it to me, the math behind why each one works, the timeline for getting from 0 to meaningful income on it, the mistake most people make trying to switch, and what you can do this week to start each one. Here they are, in the order to add them to your life. Path 1, the linear path. Your income tracks your hours. This is the default. Job, freelance, consulting, gig work. You trade hours for dollars. Every dollar requires a corresponding hour of you. Aunt Yvonne started her career on this path. 22 years old, accounting degree, junior position at a firm. She traded 40 hours a week for a paycheck. Then she got promoted and traded the same 40 hours for a slightly bigger paycheck. Then again. 8 years in, she was making about $90,000 a year and working 50 hours a week. This is the path almost everyone starts on. There's nothing wrong with it. It pays the bills. It builds early career skills. It gives you steady cash flow you can use to do other things. But Aunt Yvonne told me something on that flight that I'd never heard anyone say out loud. The linear path has a ceiling. Not a soft ceiling, a hard mathematical ceiling. Here's the math. A doctor billing $800 an hour can only bill so many hours a year before they physically break. The cap is roughly 2,000 billable hours, or about $1.6 million. A lawyer at $400 an hour caps at about $800,000. A nurse picking up extra shifts can do maybe 60 hours a week before their health and family collapse, capping at about $150,000. A delivery driver can drive 12 hours a day, but not 14, capping at about $90,000. The numbers vary by profession. The cap is always real. Every linear path has a number above which your body and your relationships start to break. For most people, that ceiling is somewhere between $60,000 and $350,000 a year. A few rare professions push higher. None push to wealthy. Middle-class people stay on path 1 for their entire career. They optimize their hourly rate, they get promotions, they negotiate raises, they go back for an MBA, they take certifications, all inside the same path. They're playing the game on its hardest difficulty without ever realizing there are other games. The first step out of the middle-class trap is not earning more on path 1. It's accepting that path 1 is fundamentally limited and you need to layer path 2 and path 3 on top of it, while you still have path 1 income to fund them. Aunt Yvonne told me she stayed on path 1 until she was 29. She kept her job at the firm. She didn't quit to chase entrepreneurship. She used the path 1 income to fund paths 2 and 3 on the side. Then she added them. By the time she was 35, the path 2 income was bigger than the path 1 income. By 40, she let path 1 go because the other 2 had taken over. But she stayed on path 1 throughout the building phase. That's the part people miss. They quit the job before the systems they're building can support them. Then they go broke, trying to build a business while also paying rent. Then they go back to path 1, desperate and broken. Aunt Yvonne told me, path 1 is the fuel that funds the other 2. Do not quit path 1 until paths 2 and 3 are paying enough to replace it. That sometimes takes 7 years. That's the work. Here's what to do this week if you're starting from path 1 only, which is where most people are. Step 1, maximize path 1 income, but stop optimizing it past the point of diminishing returns. Negotiate 1 raise this year. Skip the MBA. The marginal income from another promotion is smaller than the income from adding path 2 or path 3. Step 2, cap your path 1 hours at 45 per week. Anything above 45 comes out of the time you need to build paths 2 and 3. The temptation to keep grinding path 1 is strong. The math says you'll earn more by capping it and putting the extra hours elsewhere. Step 3, calculate your path 1 ceiling. What's the most you could ever earn on this path with no career changes? For most people, that number is 1.5 to 2 times their current salary. Realize that number is the upper limit of your wealth trajectory if you don't add the other 2 paths. Step 4, use path 1 to fund path 2 and path 3. Every paycheck, route a portion to building the next path. Aunt Yvonne started by routing 10% of every paycheck into a business she was building on the side. Within 3 years, that business was earning her more than her job. Path 1 is honest, predictable, and necessary. You need it to fund the other 2, but it cannot, by itself, make you wealthy. Not because you don't earn enough, because the math literally caps out at the hour count. The middle class trap is this. People stay on path 1 their entire career, optimize the hell out of it, and wonder why they aren't getting wealthy. The answer isn't more effort, it's a different math. This week, calculate your path 1 ceiling. Be honest about it. That number is the cap on this path. Then, commit to using the time above 45 hours a week to build path 2, which is where we go next. Path 2, the leveraged path. Your income tracks systems you built. This is where you stop trading hours and start trading systems. A digital product you made once that sells while you sleep. A YouTube channel that monetizes views you're not actively making. A software business that has paying customers regardless of whether you're at your desk. A small agency you own where employees do most of the delivery. A book you wrote once that earns royalties indefinitely. A course you recorded once that sells repeatedly. Aunt Yvonne added path 2 in her late 20s. Her first leveraged business was an accounting templates pack she built on weekends and sold online. 20 templates for a flat one-time fee. She told me the first 18 months were brutal. She was working her full-time job at the firm and building this on the side. The first 6 months, it earned her $0. Month 7, she made her first sale, $19. Month 9, she made $80. Month 12, she made about $200. By month 18, she was earning $800 a month from it. By year 3, she was making $4,000 a month from the templates alone, with no additional work because the templates were already built and the marketing had become organic. Path 2 is brutal at the start and magical at the end. The math is different from path 1. On path 1, doubling income requires doubling hours. On path 2, you can 10x income without adding hours. You just need more customers using the system you already built. Once the system exists, scaling is mostly about distribution, not labor. The mistake middle-class people make trying to switch is they quit path 1 to focus on path 2. Do not. Aunt Yvonne stayed at her firm for years while she built the templates business. She used the path 1 income to fund path 2 during the slow build. She didn't leave the firm until the templates business was earning more than the firm. This is the critical move. Path 2 requires effort before it produces income. You're building an asset that doesn't pay you yet. If you also have no income from elsewhere, you panic. You give up. You go back to path 1 desperate. The wealthy person funds the build phase with path 1 income they didn't quit. The middle class person quits path 1 first and runs out of money before path 2 is ready. Most people cannot survive the 2-year valley between starting path 2 and it paying meaningfully. They go back to path 1. That's why most people stay middle class. Not lack of ability, lack of runway through the valley. Here are the specific path 2 assets Aunt Yvonne built over the years, in the order she built them. 1. The accounting templates pack. 2. A small course teaching freelancers basic bookkeeping. 3. A YouTube channel about personal finance for business owners. 4. a consulting practice with retainer clients. Technically path 1-ish, but with leverage because she had associates doing most of the delivery. 5. 2 rental properties managed by a property management company. 6. A small SaaS product co-founded with 2 technical partners. She didn't build them all at once. She built one, let it mature, added the next. Here's how to start path 2 this week, regardless of your current income or skills. Step 1. Identify a skill you have that other people would pay for, not a job, a specific skill someone would pay you to do or to teach. Examples: writing technical documentation, building Excel models, designing logos, editing podcasts, organizing closets, teaching guitar, translating documents, configuring software. Pick one. Step 2. Build the smallest version of a productized version of that skill. If you can write technical documentation, build a template kit. If you build Excel models, build a financial model that someone could buy and customize. If you design logos, build a small library of pre-made starter logos. Step 3. Sell it on the smallest possible platform. Gumroad, Etsy, your own website with a single product. Don't worry about scaling yet. Make the first sale, then the second. Step 4. Stay at your day job. Build on nights and weekends. Use the income from path 1 to fund the time you spend building path 2. Don't quit path 1 until path 2 earns enough to replace it. For most people, that takes 2 to 4 years. Step 5. Once the first leveraged asset is established, build a second one, then a third. Wealthy people don't have one big leveraged asset. They have several small ones stacked. The trap people fall into on path 2 is impatience. They want quick results. Path 2 doesn't deliver quick results. It delivers small results that compound. The first year earnings will look pathetic. The 5th year earnings will look like a different person earned them. Aunt Yvonne told me, every year on path 2 feels like it was a waste, until you look back at year 5 and realize none of those years were wasted. They were all building the asset that's now paying you. Path 2 requires accepting that you'll be paid less per hour for the first 2 years than you currently make. In exchange, you build an asset that pays you forever after that. Most people cannot survive that 2-year valley. That's why most people stay middle class. This week, identify your one skill that could become a path 2 asset. Build the smallest version of it. Sell it on the smallest possible platform. The first sale is the hardest. Everything after that is easier. Stay on path 1 while you build. That's the rule. Don't quit until path 2 is paying you enough to replace it. Path 3, the compounded path. Your income tracks money you parked. This is where you stop trading anything and let dollars do the trading for you. Index funds, dividend stocks, rental properties run by a manager, royalties from a book or a song, bonds, treasury bills, real estate appreciation, equity stakes in businesses where you don't actively work. Aunt Yvonne started path 3 at 25. She put $50 a month into a low-cost, broad market index fund. Just $50. For the first year, the account barely moved. She wasn't impressed. She kept doing it anyway because she'd read enough to know the math required time more than effort. Today, 28 years later, that $50 a month habit has grown into a substantial part of her net worth. Not because the contributions got bigger, though they did slowly, because the time compounded. The compounded path is the slowest and the most powerful. The math is exponential, not linear. $1 invested at age 25 at 7% annual return becomes $15 by age 65. $1 invested at age 45 at the same return becomes $4 by 65. The dollar isn't smarter. The dollar isn't picked better. Time is doing the work. Compounding is just an accelerating curve, and the curve is steepest in the last decade. Time is the lever. The earlier you start, the more the math does the heavy lifting. A 25-year-old contributing $100 a month for 40 years ends up with more than a 45-year-old contributing $1,000 a month for 20 years. Same total dollars contributed, about $48,000 versus $240,000. The 25-year-old wins because their dollars had more time to compound. The compounded path also has a feature the other two don't. It doesn't require energy. You're not working. You're not building. You're just letting math run while you sleep. The mistake middle-class people make on path 3 is they wait until Path 1 pays them enough to start. By then, it's too late for compounding to do most of its work. They contribute big numbers for short periods instead of small numbers for long periods. The correct play is to start Path 3 at any income level, even at $50 a month, because the time horizon matters more than the contribution size. Aunt Yvonne told me the most expensive mistake she sees people make on Path 3 isn't bad investment choices, it's late starts. People who wait until they're 40 to invest seriously will never catch the people who started at 25 with smaller amounts. Here's the protocol you can run this week to start Path 3, regardless of your income or age. Step 1. Open a brokerage account at any major low-fee provider. Pick a broad market index fund, the cheapest, broadest one you can find. Doesn't matter which provider, doesn't matter which specific index. The differences between the top 3 or 4 options are smaller than the difference between starting today and starting next year. Step 2. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account on the same day every month, ideally one day after you get paid. Set the dollar amount at whatever you can sustain without missing rent. If that's $25, start with $25. If it's $100, start with $100. Step 3. Set up auto purchase of the index fund with each transfer. This is critical. Money sitting in cash in a brokerage account does not compound. It has to be invested. Auto purchase ensures it happens. Step 4. Disable email and app notifications from the brokerage. Delete the app from your phone if you can. The single biggest threat to your Path 3 returns is your own meddling. Compounding only works if you leave it alone for decades. Step 5. Increase your monthly contribution by $10 every quarter. Tiny increases that you barely feel. By year 3, you'll be contributing $90 more than when you started, but the increase will have happened gradually enough that you adapted. The single biggest mistake people make on Path 3 is trying to time the market. They wait for the right entry point. They want to invest at the bottom. They get spooked when the market drops 20% and stop their automatic transfers. They restart when the market recovers. The result is they buy high and skip the lows, the exact opposite of what the math wants them to do. Aunt Yvonne's account dropped 50% in 2008. She didn't touch it. It dropped 25% in 2020. She didn't touch it. Both times it recovered and kept compounding. The not touching is the entire skill. This week, open the brokerage account, set up the auto transfer, pick the index fund, set auto purchase, delete the app. Don't think about it again for 30 years. That's Path 3, the slow one, the boring one, the one that makes most of the money in the end. Wealthy people walk all 3 paths simultaneously. Path 1 pays the bills and funds Paths 2 and 3. Path 2 builds an asset that grows independent of their hours. Path 3 captures the gains and compounds them over decades. Middle-class people only have Path 1. That's the trap. Not low income, single path income. Aunt Yvonne's life right now, age 52. Path 1 is mostly retired, but still pays her some consulting income when she wants it. Path 2 pays her about 3/4 of her current income through the businesses she built and the products that still sell. Path 3 pays her the rest and grows larger every year because the compounding curve is steep in the back half. She told me on that flight, "I didn't get wealthy because I earned more than other people. I got wealthy because I added 2 more types of money to my life and let them stack on top of the first." The escape from the middle class trap is not earning more on Path 1. It's adding the other 2 while Path 1 keeps the lights on. You don't quit your job to build a business. You build the business on the side. You don't wait until you're rich to invest. You invest at any income level. You start small on all 3 and let time compound the layered effect. If you only walk Path 1 for the next 30 years, you'll end up with what you've always had, a paycheck that supports a middle-class lifestyle until you can't work anymore. That's not failure. It's the result of one math model running in isolation. If you walk all 3 for the next 30 years, even slowly, even imperfectly, you'll end up somewhere different. Not because you earned more, because 3 streams compounded instead of 1. That's the entire game. 3 paths, 3 different math models, 3 different timelines. The middle class is not stuck because they earn too little. They're stuck because all their income is the same currency, hours for dollars, one ceiling, no leverage, no compounding. The escape requires becoming 3 different people at the same time. The employee who funds the project, the builder who builds the asset, the investor who parks the gains. This is not a quick fix. It's a 15-year project started today. If you're walking Path 1, you are not behind. You are not bad with money. You are just on the wrong path for the goal you actually want. Add Path 2 this year. Start Path 3 this month. Keep path 1 running until the other 2 pay enough that you don't need it. Aunt Yvonne took 30 years to get where she is. She told me she wouldn't change anything except starting earlier. Specifically, she wished she'd started path 3 at 20 rather than 25. 5 extra years of compounding would have meant a different number at 50. Start your path 3 this week. Open the brokerage account. Set up the auto transfer. Even $50 a month is enough to begin. The math doesn't care about the size. It cares about the start. In the next video, I'm going to walk through the 4 untold truths about building wealth from nothing. Aunt Yvonne's origin story. She started at 0. So can you. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you in the next one.